Hello and welcome back to Matt Hayes' Tottenham blog and to another episode of Transfer Talk. Today we're going to be talking about an update in Tottenham's transfer targets for this window, a bit about the rumours surrounding Wilfried Zaha and some more on potential departures from the club over the next couple of weeks. Before I get started in that, if you want more Transfer Talk videos and live streams, plus match previews, reviews and breaking news videos, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below and click the notification bell so you get notified whenever I upload or go live. So to dive straight into things, a bit of unsurprising news coming out from Sky Sports today about Tottenham's potential targets for the window ahead, and they're saying that Tottenham are now looking into the possibility of signing a midfielder on loan for the rest of the season. Now this comes after the news yesterday that Moussa Sissoko has suffered a really disappointing injury. He's had surgery on his MCL and he will be out until at least April. Now they've said he will return to training in April. Whether or not he'll actually be fit to play first team football again this season, it remains unknown, because after 3 months out you need a lot of recovery time to try and get back to first team fitness. It's just unknown if Sissoko will actually make it into the team before the end of the season. So it should certainly be a priority for the club to get a midfielder in this window. Now, a few names that have been thrown around already. The first one is Gerson from Flamengo. This is one towards the end of December. The name was kind of being thrown around, especially after his performances in the Club World Cup. But Sky Sports are now saying that is not an option, and contrary to some reports, Gerson will not be moving to North London this window. So it does seem as though that one is over. Now, as for Bruno Fernandes, I know it's a kind of a different position, but it is one that's again being mentioned. I just kind of have to go back to the comments that Jose Mourinho made not too long ago, saying that definitely this one is a no. He's not the kind of player Tottenham are looking for now. He's sort of almost too good is what he said, because Tottenham are looking to bring in players to develop. And Bruno Fernandes doesn't fall into that category, but he's also outside of Tottenham's price range. So I think we can rule that one out as well. Now, you kind of have to assume, given the fact that this has come after the injury to Moussa Sissoko, that a defensive midfielder would be the priority. And we know how poor we've been in that position this year. Eric Dyer hasn't lived up to the expectations. And Ndombele and Winks, since Mourinho came in, have only started 3 games each. Of course, now Sissoko is out injured, and Wanyama and Oliver Skip just haven't really been around the team. So we definitely do need to bring someone in. And the biggest name that has been thrown around is Boubakary Soumaré. Now, there are a number of Premier League teams interested in him. I think Man United and Arsenal, or potentially Chelsea, are also looking into the possibility of signing him. Now, the only kind of thing that would make you think this wouldn't happen with Tottenham right now is that it does seem as though Tottenham are looking just for a loan deal at the moment, and given the interest in Soumaré, Lille will probably be looking for, if they are going to get rid of him, just bring in a fee now and be able to replace him, because it's unknown if this loan deal that Tottenham are looking for will include an option or an obligation to buy at the end of the season. And although Lille do seem a bit reluctant to let Soumaré go this window, if they do get a sizable offer, they will accept it. Now, as for the player personally, a lot of people are saying that he is keen to work again with João Sacramento, who was of course at Lille up until he joined Tottenham in October, November. And he's also keen to work with Jose Mourinho, which isn't a surprise. I'd imagine a lot of players in world football would love to work under Mourinho, but it's of course the brokering the deal with Lille that will be the hardest part. Now, another name who has been mentioned is Nathan Ake, who's of course a centre-back who plays with Bournemouth. He has been known to play in the defensive midfield position in the past, and while he wouldn't be the best option, I suppose, in the regard that he doesn't have much experience in that position, I don't think that's relevant, because Sky Sports are again reporting that he is also out of our price range, which, I mean, is a bit concerning if a player who's playing with Bournemouth, who, like, even though he is a really good player and he is one that a lot of teams would want to sign, if a player for Bournemouth is out of our price range, that it's a bit worrying as to just how much Daniel Levy is actually willing to invest into this team, because there's no doubt that we do need investment, not just in the midfield but in the defence as well. And I think we need to bolster our options up front as well, because it's there's just too much pressure on Harry Kane, and it's showing in the amount of injuries that he is picking up, especially around this hectic period of the season. So it is quite worrying that, look, we knew, Mourinho said it from the start really, that he wasn't looking to invest too much money in the squad. And I think the early reports when he was appointed were that he wouldn't have that much money, but it is concerning with how things haven't turned around since he did come in. In some places the football has actually gotten worse. We do need a lot of investment in the squad if we want to stay where we are and keep where we want to keep going, but it just doesn't look as though the money is there, and it's going to come back to haunt us, because look, it's not, I wouldn't say it's bad that we're only looking for a midfielder on loan, because it is only as a replacement for Sissoko, who is injured. But the fact that there isn't even an option there to buy one permanently is, again, it's worrying. I think that brings us on to our next our next story, and that is that some reports are claiming that Wilfried Zaha is close to a move to Tottenham. Now, Zaha in the last couple of days has changed agent to Pini Zahavi, who is actually the agent who brokered Jose Mourinho's deal to Tottenham. And I think people are kind of using that as an excuse to make this story that Zahavi is trying to force through a move to Spurs. There are some reports claiming that Crystal Palace would be expecting a fee as high as £80 million, which is undoubtedly out of Tottenham's price range. If we can't afford Nathan Ake, we can't afford Zaha for £80 million. Now, I suppose another few reasons why this story is coming about is it's kind of been known in the last couple of years, as Zaha has looked for a move away from Crystal Palace, that staying in the Premier League is his priority. I think only last year he was very close to completing a move to Arsenal. And that's why, again, reports are saying staying in London is ideal for the player. It's not something that needs to happen, but staying in London would be perfect. And that is why I suppose Tottenham are being thrown in the mix with that one. But look, £80 million he's an outstanding footballer. There's no doubt about that. He is probably one of the best footballers in the league outside of the typical top six. But £80 million, and it's not a position that we need to prioritise right now. We need to bulk up our midfield. We need to get in some better defenders. And personally, I think if Daniel Levy was going to invest money in one player, it should not be Zaha. It should be maybe Boubakary Samari or maybe Nathan Ake. But even though I don't want this to happen, I still don't think there's any truth to the rumours. There's nothing on Sky Sports, nothing in these reliable sources. It does seem to be primarily the tabloids that are trying to push this story. Now, another story that is being pushed by tabloids is the interest in Harry Winks from Manchester City and Manchester United. Now, look, Harry Winks is an extremely talented footballer, and I'm a massive fan of him, but the performances haven't been there from him this season. He's been one of those disappointing midfielders, and while I've no doubt there will be teams who have looked at him in the past, I don't think there'll be any who are looking at him now and thinking that's a player they want to get in, especially Manchester City, given the situation they're in. Now, as for Manchester United, it wouldn't particularly surprise me if they do try and go for this move. Their midfield at the moment is absolutely dreadful, and they've been forced to play Andreas Pereira and Fred there in the last few weeks. Now, while there have been some good performances from them, they're certainly not midfielders at the level that United need in their first team. So I wouldn't be entirely convinced that this interest is real and as serious as some tabloids are suggesting. I don't think this is a move that will materialise in any way this window. But even if it did, it's not one that I think would happen, because Harry Winks is, he's a Tottenham fan. He grew up supporting Tottenham. He's come through our academy. And you can see how much it means to him every time he does pull on the jersey. And I think he's a player that Jose Mourinho will be really keen to hold on to. And I think even if Winks' loyalty to the club came into question, I think the fact that someone like Mourinho does want to keep him and he does want him as a first team player, it would be enough to kind of convince him to stay at the club. But as I said, I don't think that's needed. I think, as the majority of fans do think, Harry Winks is completely dedicated to the club. Now, another young player who may be on the way out, and this time it's a potential loan deal, and that's Kyle Walker-Peters. Now, there's no secret Kyle Walker-Peters hasn't been able to impress Pochettino or Mourinho during his time at the club. He has had a few first team appearances, but it's been mainly the start of the last couple of seasons. And as the season has really picked up, he's struggled to keep up with the pace. He's also had a few injuries. He picked one up against, I think it was Arsenal earlier this season, and he hasn't been back in the first team since then. But Sky Sports again are reporting that Tottenham are looking to loan him out, and there are 3 Premier League clubs interested, namely Brighton, Crystal Palace and Southampton. Now, Crystal Palace does seem to be the most likely destination for him this window. And again, there are reports that talks have commenced between Palace and Tottenham about this deal, but there's no deal close to bring Kyle Walker-Peters to Selhurst Park just yet. But this is one that I would expect to go through, maybe if not to Palace, but I do expect to see Kyle Walker-Peters go out on loan this window. We don't have many options in right back, but he doesn't seem to be getting a chance. Even when Aurier was injured, Sissoko, or I think was suspended, Sissoko was utilised in right back. So I don't think Kyle Walker-Peters is anywhere near the first team at the moment. And rather than having him sit on the bench, it'll be better to get him out on loan, get some first team experience, especially if it is in the Premier League. It's not like he's going to any of our rivals, it's teams down the other side of the table. I think it would be a great move for Tottenham, for Walker-Peters, and for whatever team gets him, because he is a good footballer. But that Premier League experience could be crucial to him. And look, he might be the answer to our right back problems, but at the moment it doesn't seem as though he is. So he needs to go out and get some first team action. And just to finish off the video, a bit of news about Jack Clarke as well. We all know we recalled him from Leeds at the end of December. He's only played 2 league games for them this season, had a handful of appearances in the EFL Cup and stuff. So we have recalled him from Leeds. And the initial reports were that Mourinho wanted to see him in training and potentially have a look at him and see if he was able to move into the first team or if he needed to go back out on loan. Now, I don't know if if that's actually true, or if he brought him back with the intention of loaning him straight back out. But Mourinho himself has said he is looking for a loan deal now for Jack Clarke, and it does look like he's gone back to the Championship. There's certainly no surprise there. I mean, when he did play with Leeds in the Championship, he was one of their best players and was one of the main parts of their promotion campaign, or their promotion race last year, which unfortunately did fall away at the end, but he was a fantastic player for them. Now, there's a whole host of Championship clubs who do want him on loan. The main ones seem to be Millwall, Middlesbrough, QPR and Stoke. All teams down towards the bottom half of the Championship looking to stave off relegation. And he could certainly be a good addition to any one of those teams. And again, better for us, a young player going out and getting experience rather than sitting on our bench and just waiting for something to happen. So I suppose the main one coming from this is that Tottenham are looking to sign a midfielder on loan. It's not going to be Gerson, it's not going to be Bruno Fernandes, it won't be Nathan Ake, and it probably won't be Boubakary Soumaré. So the question comes then, who is it going to be? Leave down in the comments below who you'd like to see us sign on loan this window to kind of fix our midfield problems. If you have enjoyed this video, please don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell. And if you've enjoyed this video, please click the thumbs up. Thanks for watching.